My name is Temmy Woolston, and that's my married name. My maiden name is Temmy Kwok. I was born in Cardiff in 1976. I'm currently married. I'm married with 2 children, and I am the office manager to Ffôn-Gethin. So my parents came over in the early 70s. My grandfather was already settled here. My grandfather opened the first Chinese restaurant in Cardiff called the Rice Bowl. So my mum followed my grandfather when she was in her early teens. And then she married my father, who was from Hong Kong. My father joined my mum in the mid-60s. My parents found it difficult coming over at a young age, their formative years being very young teenagers. Both my parents started off working in my granddad's restaurant as waiters and waitresses. So their natural progression then was to open up their own takeaway, which they opened up in 1974. My mum would tell me a lot about growing up and trying to find her feet in Wales. She would apply for jobs, which she would never get. As soon as she showed up, that they would see, this is Angela Jim, a Chinese woman. She would never get past the interview stage. She wanted to know what it was like working in a British system. And she did tell me once that she applied for a job. She got the job just as a temp, a secretary. But when the boss turned up and saw that there was a Chinese woman there, a young Chinese woman, he told her in terms to just get out of the building. I don't want any, am I allowed to use these words? Chinks in my office, please get out. And my mum, being my mum, she's very strong. She said, I don't need your job, you can get lost. And she walked out of the building. She wanted these experiences to see what it was like for herself. So those were hard times for my parents. The racism was very in your face, very blatant. But my mum, she took zero tolerance to it, stood up to it. No, I'm no different. I'm going to stand my ground. I think a lot of what I do now for my job has been part of growing up and seeing the hostilities that my parents have faced and not wanting that for myself or for my children. So that is something that I'm still processing as well, because I always think that the racism and the struggle is still there. It's not something that we talk about. And it's something that I think we are still dealing with, and I think this film is important for that. Growing up, my mum did a lot of work for the Chinese community. Her work involved a lot of translation for people who couldn't speak very good English. They would receive letters from the government. They didn't know what these letters would mean, so she would obviously translate these letters. She did a lot of work for women. A lot of her friends were women from other takeaways. So she set up Chinese Association for Women, where women could come together and talk, learn new skills. And she tried to make connections with the Chinese community and the Welsh community, tried to open up our cultures so we're not so closed off. So she used to hold lots of events for Chinese New Year, dragon boat racing, and she was awarded a purple plaque in memory of her work, and that is displayed outside our takeaway. So it's a very proud moment for us all as a family to have her work remembered, have her remembered. My parents were very keen on me to keep a part of my connection to my Chinese culture. Often I take my children twice a year to clean my parents' graves. I've noticed that in Western culture they don't do this so much, and this is a big tradition for us. We go to light the incense, and I make sure that my children do this because I want them to do this for me. I want them to remember that. I think that's very important to make those connections. Otherwise, I think, again, that is almost diluting your heritage as well. When you forget your past, your ancestors, it is important that they understand that they are Welsh but also Chinese. It's important. They have 2 dragons in them, the Chinese dragon and the Welsh dragon. It's very important to keep that alive.